Uh, hey, um, I wasn't really planning on making any video today, but I figured what the hell I wanted to show like something, but yeah, Matt, it's kind of funny that I mentioned my AC stopped working, basically essentially stopped working, 2 days ago, the 21st. Um, yeah, and I couldn't even sleep, last night on the 22nd. Was it the 22nd? I forget if it was the 21st or the 22nd. But either way, last night I couldn't sleep at all, pretty much. So I just stayed up the whole time. I just stayed up the whole time pretty much. I might have gotten like a an hour nap or some shit at some point, maybe. Um, maybe 2 hours ago or 3 hours ago, I was able to finally get like maybe an hour, like 2.5 hours of sleep. Um, but yeah, just not in response to Matt's video necessarily, but just kind of like a general on that topic. So I know obviously the fear pushing or whatever of the not milk and shit. Every weather thing, like no matter what it is, now it's like some big fucking event. Uh, you know, like we used to, decades ago, or yeah, I guess probably about like just before the CV shit, before the CV shit. From what I remember, for the most part, weather events or whatever, um, they weren't really like that big of a deal. Like they didn't have fucking just constant like coverage and like dropping of like various different terms, nonsense terms, and like made up nonsense terms and names and shit about, oh man, like this and that, fear mongering constantly. There was fear mongering, but it wasn't like nearly as crazy as it is now, like for every single thing. Um, but yeah, like normally, I remember, I don't know, maybe it was like 2 years ago or some shit. It might have been like 2023 or 2022 or something. It was like the entire summer here, at least. It was pretty hot. Um, I know we had like the AC on all the time, but that's not surprising because my dad, yeah, that's how he grew up in his household. His his mom always liked AC, so they always had the AC running and everything for the most part. Um, so he grew up that way, and then and then when he got his own house and stuff, he very often runs the AC or whatever and shit. So we normally would have the temperature down to like maybe like 70, 71, 70, 71, and but the past 2 days it's been it's been very hot. I think yesterday it didn't feel as hot, but we went out. I went out today with my mom to print something at the library for her, as well as get a few things. But I think it felt hotter today. Maybe it felt hotter today, but last night I think it felt kind of. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty equable of how hot it feels in the house. Like it's definitely significantly cooler downstairs, but even then the thermostat reads about like 80, 81 right now. But then when you come fucking upstairs where our rooms are, fucking it's got to be like at least 85, probably in the 90, probably 90 or some shit, it just feels like. Um but yeah, uh and we were supposed to have the HVAC company come out today, but as it goes, they were swamped with work enough that they called before our appointment was scheduled or whatever, and basically said we have to reschedule for tomorrow or some shit. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, I don't know, man. Um, I think it's probably just because I've become acclimatized, just because my parents and my dad especially is always running the AC and shit. So that's probably why it feels very difficult to adjust to the temperature change right now in the house. But yeah, I'm like, man, at this temperature, if this is what some people say that they normally have, like the temperature like around this or some shit, or they don't have AC or whatever, I'm like, uh, yeah, I don't know, like, because unless people are just that acclimatized to it. But then I see the other shit in the house, and I'm just like, when it's this hot, like the fridge is running a lot more. But then again, maybe our fridge probably shouldn't have to be running that much, um, just because it's probably itself being fairly inefficient. So it probably just has to be like almost constantly running to maintain temperature. Um, but even like other shit, like I have like some dark chocolate bars in my closet, like uh from the store or whatever, and fucking what was it? I had one this morning, and it was like not like melting, but it was like really soft, and it was like basically melting out of the fucking package, kind of like to an extent. And I'm just like, man, how do people, if they have their fucking houses at this temperature, like what? I don't know. It seems like there'd be a lot of fucking additional like issues with their house and stuff, like potentially. But I don't know, just having the temperature like that much like higher than say with us, kind of, I don't know, it's just weird. I mean, like the machinery and stuff obviously is used to this kind of heat, like fucking my computer and like other things like fans and motors. But like other shit like wood paneling or like wood stuff, like I would think that if it was this humid and hot, I don't know, it's just weird to me. And I've never had it this. I feel like this is the hottest I've felt inside the house before. Um, it feels like, at least, like just from the ambient temperature, not from like say if I had like a fucking fever or some bullshit or whatever, like that's different. But like just the ambient temperature, this definitely that feels like the hottest it's been inside the house that I've experienced. Besides, if you say like went into the attic or some shit, that's obviously would be extremely hot most of the time. But just in the living area of the house. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just weird that people say like, oh yeah, this is nothing for them in their houses, and it's like. I don't know how they fucking do that shit, even besides being acclimatized. But then like other parts of that, I don't know. It's just fucking weird, man. Then again, other people also probably don't. Maybe they have more cool parts of the house where it's like downstairs, where it's like significantly cooler than upstairs. Um, that or they have basements and shit like that. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's just kind of strange. That's what I wanted to bring up. But hopefully we'll get the system fixed tomorrow. I don't know. But either way, even if it is real, as Matt says, what the hell is his recent most popular thing? Even if it's real, it's fake. Even if it's real, it's fake. Even if the fear porn is fake or contrived, everything like that, the heat definitely feels real right now, even though it's probably not that extreme for some people. It's just like me coming from the currently acclimatized. I haven't really been going out this much this spring or summer as well. That probably contributes to the difficulty acclimatizing to this uh, change in heat or whatever. But hopefully tonight I'll be able to sleep somewhat with a probably wet my shirt, maybe even take a cold shower before I go to bed, or try to. Um, Definitely put this thing on when wet, and I got this shitty fucking fan at Best Buy today because I didn't even want to get one necessarily, but my mom, she was like, when we went out, she was like, I'm getting you a fan or whatever. I'm like, all right, well, don't give me anything. If you're gonna insist on getting something, let me fucking get something because she will always buy shit anyway. This fucking $60 piece of shit, Honeywell. I mean, it was like the cheapest one that they had. That was like a somewhat like stand up fan. Um, yeah, garbage. If I ever get one, definitely go on Amazon. But I'm when this heat wave's over, I'm returning this fucker. Fuck you, cause piece of junk as far as I'm concerned. I mean it works, but it's definitely not a great fan at all. I don't know how I don't know what the advantage of these stupid designs are besides its form factor, I guess. Shitty. Um, but probably the even though I just rambled on for like 11 minutes there or whatever. Main thing I wanted to talk about is while I was sitting in the heat earlier, uh, I was just kind of like not so much meditating, but trying to just kind of like meditate in a way. And I was glad Matt made that video because it did make me feel less like um annoyed or stressed out about the feeling of heat because I was just like, basically just like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, this ain't nothing kind of shit compared to other things. So I was just like, yeah, fuck it, not a big deal. So that made me feel better in that way, less annoyed about the entire thing. Um, but yeah, I decided I was like, I don't feel like doing anything on the computer particularly. So I was like, well, why don't I take advantage of that moment and actually try doing some of that drawing practice shit? Um, and I did some of that. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. I don't know how I'm gonna film this. Uh, kind of surprised. I had a clipboard from I don't know, I guess they gave me a clipboard when I worked at that one company when we went out to like Chicago for some bullshit fucking training courses or something, complete fucking bullshit training courses. Uh for like 2 weeks. That sucked ass. But I guess I got this kind of nice clipboard that's got like storage inside. So I was like, all right, I'll use that. And I had a bunch of these printer things that I printed for something that I was trying to do with this other guy, some handyman shit. Didn't even really get involved with him at all, but I did make the posters and stuff. But now I just use it as scrap paper, what's left there. Um, so the first thing I went with was since you mentioned the figure eight drawing like the eights over and over kind of thing and practicing with your arm. And yeah, I used this one of these Bic uh, ballpoint pens or whatever, just because I have a fucking literally like a big like box of these fucking Bic pens, cheap as shit pens. And they work, for what they are. They work fucking pretty good for how cheap they are and everything. Um, but I purposely, when I was doing the drawing of the whatever the practice, I purposely uh changed my like grip to what I normally would have for like writing or whatever. And I know the camera is it's kind of, the perspective is flipped for the person for viewing this, but this is my right hand obviously. And normally I would have it like this, as if I was like writing like uh precise precision and shit like that, precise writing or whatever details. So I wanted to change that up to, as you said, get more used to using my arm. Like, I think that's what you meant because man, if I had to use my entire shoulder, I could probably do that, and I was trying to do that, but it was mostly like my elbow movements that I was using. So I was changed my grip to like this, which looks really fucking weird. And it is really fucking weird. I have my middle finger uh like there, and then I got my index finger and my ring finger like that holding it like this. So it's almost impossible to really manipulate it much with my fingers like this. So kind of impossible to accidentally like start using my fingers to write to draw with or whatever to control it with. So I was like just using my arm like this going around pretty much, and it worked pretty well actually. Though I wouldn't want to be doing this probably for hours. Then again, you probably don't want to be drawing for hours and hours on end in general. But yeah, this would probably get somewhat uncomfortable pretty quickly. I even tried like this, like the most like fucking ridiculous looking grip you could do, but literally impossible to control with your fingers. I did that for a little bit too. Um, hey, yeah, I just started drawing eights over and over on some of this. How can I show this? Uh, hmm. I don't want to just knock over the camera and then show like this. I mean, I can, but that's probably not gonna work that well. Uh, I mean, maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. Oh shit, I don't like that, but fuck. This is great. This is great. This is great. Well, I don't think that's gonna work that well. I don't think that's gonna work that well, but I'll just show some of the shit. So speaking of 88, the 88 stuff. Um, so yeah, like obviously with many of these, I was just drawing it like doing the motion like over and over and over, so much so they just made it fucking like some of them stand out way more than others. Um, but how was I doing it? So I found out I was like, yeah, I found out the way that I did eights, which is I would imagine how most people do eights, is like I would start making like an S shape, like how I would draw like an S. Um, this is horrible. This is fucking horrible. How I would draw like a fucking S. Yeah, that might work better. How I would draw like an S. Um, yeah, this is a little bit weird, obviously. But I would draw it like that, like start with an S and then finish it like that. And that's how I would do eights. But then I was like, all right. Um, I noticed my accuracy doing that is not very great. Like it can usually make the eight pretty okay, but trying to like draw over it again and like repeat the same exact motion is a lot less accurate than I thought it would be for that one. So then I actually tried to reverse it, and I had some difficulty, obviously, adjusting to that. But then I found I actually draw the 8 a lot better and more consistently when I do it like that, basically reversing the S. So instead of doing it like this, I do it, instead of doing it like, uh, uh, instead of doing it like that, I did it in the reverse kind of like starting from here and then uh yeah, something like that. So starting from the bottom and then finishing it off from top down. Um and yeah, that seems to that seems to work better actually. Kind of funny doing it reverse. Actually, I was finding it easier than doing it the quote unquote normal way. Um, yeah, it's not the best showcase of how I was doing it the way that the camera is, but then after doing that for a while, I was like, okay, turn the sheet over and do something else. And I was trying to do some shapes. Oh wait, these aren't showing up that great. because they're not that dark. But yeah, I guess I could just kind of show them just like really bad like cube shapes and shit. Uh, really bad like cube shapes, like trying to do the 3D perspective kind of 3D cube kind of thing. Um, as well as let's see, I was trying to do some cylinder shapes. Then I was trying to do some like body shapes or something, like how you were doing with the how you were doing with the sketches. But I wasn't really like I was thinking about it. I'm like, how are you supposed to do that? How are you supposed to do that? Um, oops. I was thinking like, how are you supposed to do that? So I was drawing like fucking what the hell was that? I remember that was like that stupid flash game that you'd like torture the fucking little like circular guy, like this kind of shit. But I was trying to draw like the neck as a circle, but then I was like, what the fuck? That doesn't look right at all. Um, so then I kind of looked up a reference just before I started recording this, kind of. And it does make more sense looking at that. At least one of the really simple references. It like made the head like that, and then the neck I think was just like a little ball. But then you have two separate ovals to represent like the shoulder blades, I guess. Looks like a dick. Represent like the shoulder blades, I guess. And then you do a circle for the rest of the chest, I think. And then the other joints are just like really tiny in comparison or something. Um, some shit like that. Uh, something like that. And then yeah, I don't know, so some shit like that. Which definitely looks a lot better than what I was initially trying for. But yeah, so I've been trying some stuff, man. It is still just so fucking hot right now that I just don't feel like doing anything seemingly. But I mean, the drawing is fun, but it is one of those things where it is like um just like any skill, it's kind of not so much frustrating. Like I was having fun doing the eights and stuff, but then trying to do stuff that was more detailed, like the body sketches, I was just like, man, this looks fucking terrible. And I'm like just having trouble visualizing it, and then drawing it to an extent. And even the shapes, I've never had the best like um 3D I forget what it's called. Not so much spatial awareness. Spatial awareness would be like knowing where your body parts are, even if you can't see them or whatever, just being able to sense where your body is at one moment without having to see it. Um I forget what it's called. Fucking being able to like visualize things in 3D. Uh I've never had the best um ability at that, I guess you could say. Like it was never one of my strengths was doing that. So doing these like shapes, even though I think some of them are all right. Some of them are all okay, but yeah, like say just drawing like a cube and then doing like that kind of bullshit. Oh wait, no, that was terrible. But like this and then like the skewed perspective, that one's not too awful, I guess. But then after that, like I have trouble thinking like how are you supposed to make it like finish it kind of. That's when I start having trouble when it's like the kind of back parts of the shape and shit. But I mean, either way, like once you actually start doodling and drawing and stuff, it gives you it seems a lot less difficult uh seems a lot less difficult than you might have initially thought just thinking about doing it. Like actually when you're just doing it, it's not nearly as bad. Um but yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show for right now at least. Hopefully we get the AC fixed tomorrow or whatever. And all that bullshit, but maybe I'll start doodling more. Um if anything just to kill some time or whatever. Uh as well as hopefully drawing like that purposely, like with the kind of fucked up grip, will better enforce uh the habit to draw more with my arm than with my fingers and shit. Um, but yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say right now. I haven't played Chrono Trigger. I mean, I know you still have so many. At least Rudy, the main person actually watching my Chrono Trigger shit. Um, I know you have so many or to watch, so I probably just don't like right now. I don't feel like playing anything uh particularly. So I'll probably start recording once again when I just feel like it, as well as when you probably catch up a little bit more. Then I'll probably start recording. I mean, I think I'm basically almost done with the game. I'm probably very close to done with the game anyway. At least the first playthrough or iteration or whatever. So yeah. Um, but yeah. But besides that, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and take care.